I am here with Siskiyou County Sheriff John Lope, and I understand yesterday from federal prosecutors that you can't be bought for $1 million, Sheriff. What can you tell me about some of the circumstances here in the last few days?
Well, your viewers probably know that.
Well, they don't. So
around.
Tell us what you can tell us.
Well, the Federal Bureau of Investigation basically led an investigation into possible bribery and conspiracy involving at least 2 suspects. And what happened was back in
these are local marijuana growers.
These suspects have active illicit cannabis cultivation sites here in Siskiyou County.
Okay.
And what happened was, on May 17th, I had a meeting with one of the suspects. He offered me enticements that I felt went over the line and were illegal. And there is a bribery violation, in the penal code here. And it could be a violation of both state and federal law.
Yes.
I was concerned about the interchange and what was offered, because really it was an offer for large sums of money for an exchange of.
Are you able to say how much ultimately you turned over at the very beginning? Of what, 10,500 or something?
I can't give you a lot of details because this is an FBI-led investigation, but I can tell you, the news release indicated that there were a series of meetings. There was actually cash that was turned over, to me, which I gave to the FBI, of course. That was 10,500. It involved rather large sums of money. Some of the money was contingent upon an out-of-state commercial marijuana law passing in
Wisconsin?
Missouri.
Oh, Missouri. Okay.
I mean, there are a lot of variables, but bottom line was that when I went to the U.S. Attorney about this potential law violation, the U.S. Attorney's office in the Eastern District in Sacramento agreed with our assessment, and they asked the FBI to investigate. So the FBI did a great job. And yesterday, we made the arrest of the primary suspect, Mr. Yang. And
did you arrest others?
Yes, we served 8 search warrants, and this was really one of the positive things that happened yesterday. This is the U.S. Attorney's Office and the FBI did a great job in this investigation. It's a classic example of a successful multi-agency arrest operation. We served 8 search warrants, and really the FBI and also the FBI worked very closely with the Drug Enforcement Administration, the agent in charge in the Redding office. So this is primarily FBI and the Drug Enforcement Administration. And this was a classic example of the federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies working together. And we had drug task forces from Siskiyou County, Shasta County, Tehama County, and we had just the regional response from the North State Marijuana Investigation Team. We had our Siskiyou Unified Major Investigation Team that assisted. We had our CIMIT team, the Siskiyou Interagency Marijuana Investigation Team. So this was a great example of interagency cooperation. And 8 search warrants were served. We seized 1,130 illicit cannabis plants. We got about 50 pounds of processed marijuana that was confiscated, and we made 13 arrests. And that includes the main suspect. Yes.
Are these folks all connected? There was a mention in articles as well as press release on, it seemed like upwards to 50, 75 different parcels that they were wanting protection for with their $1 million.
Right. The news release indicated that there were 8 parcels that were associated with this conspiracy and this bribery scheme. So they were all related, either family or close relationships between the co-conspirators. And as you know, we have a major, challenge in Siskiyou County with illicit marijuana grow operations on private property as well as in public lands. But the operation yesterday on the 31st of August focused on those illicit cultivation sites that were associated with this conspiracy and this bribery attempt.
Which brings up another question I had. You have been understaffed tremendously in trying to do your raids. Does this federal prosecution bring in federal help?
Well, yes.
Extra manpower,
Well,
shall we say?
I'll tell you, first of all, the assistance and support we got from the Drug Enforcement Administration, the FBI, and the U.S. Attorney's Office was just extraordinary. So yes, we're getting additional resources, and also they marshaled the resources of virtually all of the regional, drug task forces to conduct these raids yesterday, and we seized, 1,130 illicit marijuana plants, and it was a very successful operation.
Is their help going to continue? I mean, will they be out here helping you do some more raids because of this?
To attack this illicit marijuana drug trade, we have to have federal, state, and local support. And everybody from the California Fish and Wildlife, to the Drug Enforcement Administration on the federal side. The FBI got involved in this because of the bribery and conspiracy investigation. We need help from everybody.
Yes.
And right now we're getting help, from other agencies too, such as the California Army National Guard Counter Drug Unit. So we're drawing on the resources from the Highway Patrol. They're handling a lot of on-highway interaction too, especially with the water trucks. So we need help from CAL FIRE. CAL FIRE has been doing a great job because they've been attacking the fire hazards that are inherent in most of these illicit sites, and they've issued a lot of citations. So we're looking at this thing from a social standpoint, social program standpoint, from a justice standpoint, from an environmental standpoint, because you look at the pollution, you look at the water use, the watershed damage that potentially is out there. You look at the fertilizer, insecticides, pesticides, rodenticides. You're looking at the trash. You're looking at the fire dangers. You're looking at the illegal excavations. You're looking at the illegal structures. You're looking at a lot of these sites have no wells and no septic or water treatment. They may have generators running 24 hours a day. They may have, inappropriate fencing. They may have porta potties that shouldn't be there. And the quality of life and environmental issues are just huge, in this whole, this whole spectrum of illicit marijuana growth. So, we have to attack it from the illegal marijuana drug trafficking standpoint. We have to attack it from an ordinance standpoint because the county has a lot of existing ordinances. That means working with the board of supervisors, with our county administrator, with the planning department, with the health department in some cases, maybe the ag commissioner. So there's a lot of key players in this. But the bottom line is that we have to launch a multi-agency and sustain a federal, state, and local response to this potentially catastrophic problem here if we're going to be successful. And as you know,
what's happening on Tuesday? Aren't you presenting something to the board?
Right. In collaboration with our county administrator, we've put together a resolution calling for a declaration of a local emergency in Siskiyou County. And this local state of emergency is, to me, it's no different than a catastrophic fire or a flood or other catastrophe. The number of illicit marijuana grows both on public and private lands, but it seems